I am Brandon Boswell. I work for the City of Mebane Inspections Department. I'm the residential building inspector of Mebane. Today I will be doing a mechanical gas test, showing you the procedures that we go through each day. So the first thing we do when we walk in the house, we come look at the stove, see if it's gas. This is electric. Usually gas stoves are either installed or they need to be capped off. This is the only appliance we're allowed to be capped off. That means it's got a plug in the appliance line connector. And that's it. So next step, we go find a water heater. Usually it's in the garage or it could be in a utility storage room. We make sure the water heater is properly vented with 3 screws in the vent pipe. Make sure it is gas lines installed with a valve and a drip leg, and make sure everything's connected well. Then we look at the manifold. It'll have a pressure gauge on it. We need to be at 10 psi. Make sure it's regulated from the main. It'll be 2 psi, then it'll regulate down to each appliance. Make sure it's holding 10 psi for at least 15 minutes. And then we'll jump over to the furnace, which is in the same utility storage closet. We check, same thing, we check the vent, make sure it's properly vented. This one has a high-low, so make sure it has a high-low combustion air venting outside to the attic. And also make sure it's got a valve on the appliance with the drip leg. And just make sure everything's sealed in the storage utility room. And penetrations are sealed for fire blocking. And then we go up in the attic. We don't have a ladder, so. Our final step on the gas test is to make sure, come out to the gas meter where they're going to tie in the gas meter. Make sure they have a 2 psi label. This bond wire is for CSST. All CSST has to be bonded. So they had CSST in the utility closet. Make sure this gauge is on 10 psi, just like we did in the utility closet. Make sure the penetration is sealed. This nipple has to stick out 2 inches past the vinyl siding. And this pipe, this gas meter will serve this whole system of the house. So that CSST goes through the house. It goes to a 2 psi system. And then once you go to the manifold, it'll break off in branches to each appliance, serving each appliance fixture. So after everything is, we go through everything and everything looks good, we give them an approved sticker. It says City of Mebane, approved it with their address on it. We stick it on here for the gas company so they'll know that City of Mebane has passed inspection off, and then they're ready to set their meter. So when the utility company comes out, they'll look at the pressure gauge and they'll know what type meter to be set. That's why we use the 2 psi label. And once they get the approved sticker, they'll set their meter.
My name is 𝐿𝑒𝓈𝓈𝓅𝑒𝑗𝒃. I'm an electrical inspector for the City of Mebane. We're currently on a temporary power inspection. During a temporary power inspection, we will check to make sure that we have our grounding electrodes in. We actually look at the meter connection here. This is normally where we start. And from here, we go on the inside of the dwelling to make sure that all circuits and breakers and everything is properly connected. So from here, we Okay, so from here, we go inside. Okay, once inside the dwelling, I'll be removing the panel cover to make sure all connections inside the panel are connected correctly, because we're really not supposed to remove the panel covers once power is put on the home. So I'll be removing the panel cover. Alright, so inside the panel, we'll look, check to make sure all connections are tight. Everything is where it's supposed to be. There's nothing that would create a hazard once the power is turned on this home. And this one looks pretty good, so we're going to close it. Okay, once in the dwelling, we'll check things for hazards to make sure that there's no conductors that are hanging. We'll look at the microwave outlet is plugged in. We normally check up on the sink to make sure there's nothing hanging out. We look throughout the house to make sure everything's buttoned up, all covers, lighting fixtures. If there's not a fixture there, we'll make sure that it's capped off and nobody can get hurt with it. We look at the bathroom, the living room, pretty much the whole house to see that everything is covered up before we actually release the property for temporary power. Okay, once the dwelling has passed for temporary power, then at that point, I'll send it to the power company, which this power company, this particular dwelling is Piedmont Electric. And at some point between now and a few days from now, they'll put power on this house. It'll be energized. All right, you guys, we're hoping that you guys have more insight in what we do in the inspection department as far as keeping everybody safe and what we do to ensure that these homes and these businesses things are being installed in them properly. So with that being said, I'd like to say thank you, and let's keep Mebane positively charmed.